How you start your day is how you live your life. Think about it. Those first few moments after you wake up aren't just empty time. They set the tone for everything that follows. Right now, in the first 10 minutes of being awake, you're hit with more information than people from past eras saw in entire days. Notifications, headlines, messages, all screaming for your attention before you've even had a chance to decide what is important to you. Many of us wake up and immediately grab our phones. Our eyes are still adjusting to the light, but we're already reacting to the world's demands. The result is subtle, but it's huge. The world gets the first word, and we spend the rest of the day just trying to respond. But there's a powerful alternative, an ancient blueprint designed to counter this modern chaos: the Stoic morning routine. This isn't about crushing your to-do list or hacking your productivity. It's about taking back control of your own mind. A Stoic morning starts with something radical, deliberate quiet. Just a pause. A buffer between the world of sleep and the noise of the day. Instead of instantly consuming information, you take a moment to get your bearings. Left to itself, our mind tends to drift towards worry, comparison, and a low-grade hum of anxiety. Silence interrupts that drift. It creates the space to remember that the day hasn't happened yet. It can't overwhelm you because it doesn't exist yet. This is your first act of leadership for the day, choosing not to be a puppet of reaction. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, had a practical way of preparing his mind. In his private journal, he would remind himself that throughout the day, he was going to meet difficult people. People who were impatient, arrogant, ungrateful, or dishonest. This wasn't him being negative. It was mental inoculation. It was preparing for reality. When you expect friction, it loses its power to throw you off balance. If you expect a perfectly smooth day, your peace is incredibly fragile. But if you accept that people are unpredictable, your inner peace becomes something you can carry with you, no matter what happens. The goal isn't to be bitter about people's flaws, but to stop letting your happiness depend on their behavior. Today, we can extend this idea beyond just people. Think about the systems we rely on. Delays will happen. Plans will change. Tech will glitch. A Stoic morning acknowledges this reality from the start. This way, when a disruption happens, your brain doesn't see it as a personal attack. You're not trying to eliminate problems. You're just trying to eliminate the shock. And when you're not in shock, you can think clearly and recover quickly. A core part of a modern Stoic morning is the digital fast. For a set amount of time, maybe the first hour of your day, the screens stay off. This isn't about hating technology. It's about putting things in the right order. Your intentions should come before the world's input, not the other way around. When you start your day without a flood of digital noise, you give your own thoughts, your own priorities, and your own mood a chance to surface. Otherwise, your baseline for the day is just whatever the algorithm decides to feed you. Your attention is your most valuable currency, and in the morning, it's at its purest. Protecting that time is an act of strategic self-respect. Within this quiet, protected space, the Stoics practiced an exercise, sometimes called the view from above. You mentally zoom out. From your room, to your building, to your city, your country, out to the planet, and into the vastness of the cosmos. The point isn't to make your problems seem insignificant. It's to put them in context. From a distance, things look different. What feels like a massive, overwhelming crisis up close often looks much more manageable from a higher perspective. This mental shift loosens the grip of anxiety and brings back a sense of proportion. It helps you remember that your difficulties are real, but they are not absolute. After gaining perspective, it's time for intention. Stoicism teaches that our character is the one thing we truly have control over. So the morning is the perfect time to choose not just what you want to do, but who you want to be. Maybe it's being more patient in a difficult conversation, having more courage when things feel uncertain, or showing more generosity in small ways. Writing this down makes it real. It turns an abstract idea into a firm commitment. This becomes your to-be list. And unlike a to-do list, it stays relevant even when your plans fall apart. You might not finish every task, but you can always practice your character. Next, the routine moves from the mind to the body. This involves a dose of voluntary discomfort. It could be a cold shower, a tough workout, or just stepping into the cold air for a few minutes. This isn't about punishing yourself. It's a rehearsal. When you willingly choose to do something uncomfortable, you teach your brain that discomfort isn't dangerous. Your body learns that it can handle strain. This has a powerful psychological effect. When unexpected challenges pop up later in the day, they feel less threatening because you've already proven to yourself that you can handle difficulty. You start the day with concrete evidence of your own strength. Another powerful layer is brief negative visualization. This means thinking about the obstacles that are likely to pop up during your day. Imagine the traffic jam, the frustrating meeting, the moment of fatigue. Then, decide in advance how you'll respond with calm and reason. This turns vague hope into a concrete strategy. You stop hoping for a perfect day and instead commit to being steady, no matter what the day brings. The day no longer determines your mood. It becomes a stage for you to practice your values. This is where Stoic resilience becomes real. Preparation replaces stress. When you follow this routine, it's like putting on internal armor. But it's not armor that cuts you off from the world. It's armor that stabilizes you so you can stay open. When you finally do check your phone and dive into your day, you're coming from a place of strength and orientation, not vulnerability. The information still comes at you, but it doesn't instantly dictate how you feel. You get to choose what deserves your attention and what you can simply let pass by. You're no longer a target. You're an active participant in your own life. The real purpose of a Stoic morning routine is to reinforce who you are. Every morning is a small reminder that your life is shaped not by what happens to you, but by how you respond to what happens. When you start the day reacting to everything, your identity gets scattered. But when you start with intention, your identity solidifies around your chosen values. This routine doesn't guarantee a perfect day, but it dramatically increases the odds that you'll stay grounded and centered no matter what unfolds. And there's a powerful compounding effect. One morning might feel small, but repeating this practice day after day changes you. Your mind becomes less easily hijacked by distractions. You bounce back from setbacks faster. Your decisions start to align more with your long-term goals. You begin to notice that little gap between a stimulus and your response. In Stoic philosophy, that gap is where your freedom lies. The morning routine is simply a daily practice of making that gap a little wider before the world tries to squeeze it shut. It's crucial to remember that this isn't about adding more pressure to your life. A Stoic routine is simple. A few minutes of quiet, a moment of perspective, setting an intention, moving your body, and preparing for obstacles. That's it. The goal is consistency, not complexity. If your morning routine becomes another source of stress, it has failed. It should feel like grounding, not a performance. In a world that's constantly trying to buy and sell our attention, that first hour of the day is one of the last frontiers. Protecting it isn't just about discipline. It's about deciding who gets the first word, you or everything else. When you claim that space, you start your day anchored in your own character, not drifting in a sea of external noise. The noise won't go away, but you'll be stepping into it with a light you've already lit yourself. The morning is a unique opportunity. It's when you can most clearly hear your own intentions, access perspective, and reinforce your identity. Use it well, and it becomes the foundation for resilience that will carry you through the rest of the day. Ignore it, and you let reactivity take root before you've even started. The Stoic invitation is simple. Begin before the world begins. Then, Step into the day not as someone who is overwhelmed, but as someone who is prepared. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to follow for more ideas on living a stronger, more intentional life.